Hello, this is David Taylor Klaus, and welcome to Mindset Mondays with DTK. This is the final day of the year. And if you will, take just a moment, click share, and invite your friends and colleagues and community to this broadcast. Love to have more people joining the conversation. All right, so today, here's our playground today. It's a Michelangelo quote that the problem human beings face is not that we aim too high and fail, but that we aim too low and succeed. This is one of those, again, where it just seems so simple, but it's obviously much more nuanced. This idea that there's sort of like a zen or a magic balanced middle to setting goals. Yeah. So it's, do you set them accessibly low, impossibly high, or is there that artful balance in the middle? And I guess regardless of the answer, the motivation behind it is so much more important. So again, as Michelangelo pointed out, the problem that human beings, we aim too high. It's not that we aim too high and fail, it's that we aim too low and succeed. So are we setting the goals low for that quick win to build on it again and again and again? Or are we setting them low to avoid that stretch, to avoid failure, or to avoid disappointment, right? Or do you set them incredibly high to inspire that, that damn the torpedoes full speed ahead idea of a leap? Or do you set them high to avoid exposure, to avoid visibility, to avoid success? For me, the aiming outrageously high works like magic. And part of it goes back to a throwback to the 80s when I had a sales manager who gave me the idea that no significant goal has ever been reached without aiming for one that's higher. It's not about avoiding failure. In fact, it's almost leaning into it. And what came out of that was a mechanism for setting goals that sort of played into all three of those tiers, or it played into three tiers, right? It was the idea that you have to understand. So as an entrepreneur, I have to know what my threshold needs to be. What is the level that keeps the lights on? I need to close X amount of business this week, this month, this quarter, this year, right? And that's what I need to be baseline to keep operations running. Now, for your sales force, you don't share the threshold with them. But for my own calculations, it's always about what is that threshold? So I know what the operating expenses are plus the basic core expenses. That next level is, what's the idea? What's the target? What is the goal that can be reached with a stretch? It's motivating, it's attainable, but it's only attainable with that consistent effort and with a stretch. It's got to have some driving motivation behind it. And then there's the visionary goal. That visionary goal is with allies, with extreme effort, with massive stretch, with the stars aligning, everything. That is the visionary goal. And that's the one that we target. Learn during the coactive leadership experience, the concept of quest. It's something that's huge, scares the crap out of you. It's too big to accomplish in your lifetime. You don't know how to do it, and you need allies to get it done. That's a remarkable thing to shoot for. That's a remarkable energy to pull you, to lean towards. And for some, I hear the gremlins going that for some, that can be the skull crushing, and it's constantly so far out in the distance. And then I go back to Regina Duggan. In 2012, she gave a brilliant TED talk. Now, She was the director of DARPA. This was the Defense Advanced Research Projects Agency, the US Armed Forces Innovation Engine. And now she's at Google and she's doing the same kind of research and the same kind of drive there that she did at DARPA for the time she was there. In her TED Talk, she said, we have had to believe in impossible things. In her TED Talk, she talked about a machine that would reach Mach 20, a flying machine that would reach 20 times the speed of sound. And also the hummingbird drone, a small drone that could fly up, down, sideways, backwards. And they actually demonstrated that hummingbird drone during the talk. And if you ever listen to the TED Radio Hour, her voice saying we've had to believe in impossible things is part of the intro to every one, because that's a powerful statement. We've had to believe in impossible things in order to achieve heretofore impossible things. You have to believe in them. You have to believe they're possible. I watched a friend perform last night at a local restaurant bar. And while we were there, a friend of mine told me that back in 2011, my friend had actually been called up on stage during a U2 concert to play guitar. And not only did he get up on stage and play the guitar, Bono handed them guitar, and my friend Darren is left-handed, so he flipped the guitar over, now it's strung upside down, and played it left-handed. Bono sort of flipped out. So April 25th, 2011, and I asked Darren's wife last night, how the hell did Darren get pulled up on stage? And she said, I have no idea, but he knew. He knew that he was going to get called up and have the chance to play. Who believes something like that? Who believes that at a concert in front of tens of thousands of people in Atlanta, in our Enormodome, that he was going to get pulled up out of the crowd and given the opportunity to play with one of the top bands on the planet? And yet, he knew, he believed in something impossible. And it happened, and it's on YouTube, and I watched the video last night, and it was astounding. We've had to believe in impossible things. So what are the impossibles in your world? What's the visionary target, the visionary goal that you can play with for 2019? What will be your massive stretch? What will you lean into? And how can this change the way you set your goals? There's such a rich opportunity to be more than what we can already see. I think that the super big stretch for me is trying to be more than I currently am and that I can imagine. And the opportunities stretch beyond reason. It's easy to stay contained by what we can comprehend, what we can see how to get done. I had no idea 12 years ago when I got the inkling of wanting to become a coach that I would be able to perform at this level as an entrepreneur and generate the kind of revenue and taking home the kind of income that I do. When I first considered becoming a coach, I leaned into coaching because of what it did for me and how I could serve. And then I realized I could make a living at it, and a good living. And if I had tried to imagine what my practice looks like now, 12 years ago, it wouldn't have made sense. I wouldn't have been able to see what it is that I've created now. And realizing that as I look towards this next year and think about what I want my practice to look like at the end of this next year? What's my visionary goal? What's my stretch? What's my stretch? I don't know yet. I don't know yet. And I think my day today is about opening my horizon longer and broader. You know, it's interesting. At times get so wound up in doing the work. And that includes Mindset Mondays, my coaching, building the practice. I get so caught up in the doing the work that there are times that I forget the longer view. Yes, it's physician heal thyself. I do the work and help my client. I help my clients do the work. And at the same time, there are times where I go unconscious to it. And after a week of time with family by choice and family by blood and an opportunity to recharge, now it's my chance to look at, what do I want my year to look like? And what do I want to do with Mindset Mondays? This is episode 47. The full year is complete on Groundhog Day. Do I continue Mindset Mondays? Is this just fodder for the book that I'm writing? Learning about mindset and learning about myself and learning about putting myself out there? Or is this something I want to continue? I don't know yet. There's a lot for me to play with and for me to decide. And I think that this is, I picked this quote for this episode almost a year ago. The problem human beings face is not that we aim too high and fail, but that we aim too low and succeed. I know that failure along the way is part of the ultimate success of any goal. And I hope that's something that's become clear through your own experiences or through these conversations or any other way that you grow and stretch, that failure is a normal part of growth, of succeeding. And that's the mindset that I keep holding. That's the piece that I keep reminding myself. And now I get to stretch even further and look at what the visionary goal will be. And what I want for you is to do the same thing, is to take time today and tomorrow and decide what your stretch is going to be, what your visionary goal is, what your mind-blowing outcome would look like. And I welcome the chance to have conversations with any of you who watch this or read this transcript later. Welcome the opportunity to have a conversation about what it is you want to create. It's the fascinating part of this work, is uncovering and unpacking what it is that wants to be created and what people want to create. And so that's what my year is going to be about, is more of the unearthing and more of the unleashing of people's power. And I'm excited for the year. Thank you for being part of Mindset Mondays throughout 2018. I so look forward to your continuing on with me through 2019. So between now and next Mindset Monday, what mindset will you choose? Happy New Year.